Hello, this is George Senda, the official, the real, the authentic, the original, the one, the only, the guy from Pittsburgh, and I have done nothing today except sleep because I went to the emergency room last night after I went to Safeway, and tonight I fed Mama Cat, who has been out there squeaking. Squeaking Kitten Cat, who is in the bedroom, Fluffy, who is not squeaking, and Tiny One, who nuzzled me for her can of cat food. Then I went to the liquor store and the guy screwed up my. He gave me back money and I got 3 Powerball tickets. Actually, I got, yeah, that's the old one. I was wanted 5. He gave me 3, gave me my money back. I don't know what the hell he's doing. So anyway, I went to the ER after I went to Safeway last night and I got very, very tired. I got an Uber ride home. And Kathy has a theory that the cold air makes you go to the bathroom. She's absolutely right. I had to do it again today when I got back. So I thought I'd be there for hours, and I wasn't. I was only there for about a little more than 2 hours. They had 15 people in there, and 2 nutcases were babbling, and saw me fairly quickly, and I had a spike of pain in my left big toe while the nurse was first seeing me. And she had just asked me, "What's your pain level?" And I said, "Oh, about a 3 right now. The toe has been throbbing." And the spike of pain in my toe was about a 15. And I went, "Ow!" And let's see. I don't know if you can see it, but there's my foot. And they gave me surgical tape and gauze and neosporin and more gauze and an antibiotic, and I did not go to Safeway for the antibiotic. I have another roll of tape here. I will go tomorrow. And I got home, watched a little bit of television, ate something, did my haul video, what I got at Safeway. Totally forgot about getting toilet paper. I have to use a lot of toilet paper because Fluffy keeps sneezing. And then today my sinuses went nuts. So I slept in chunks today. And Kathy at 10 o'clock at night woke Patty up, asking her, does she keep the tea bag in the container or not when she makes cold iced tea? And Patty was really pissed. So Kathy and I had a nice time at dinner at the Chinese restaurant. So in any event, the doctor told me what was wrong with my toe. He said it was a blister of all things. I thought I had some horrible thing that my toe was going to get cut off, my foot was going to get cut off, they cut off my head. Cut off his head, maybe. And he said it's caused by the top of the shoe rubbing against the foot. I couldn't believe it because the thing looked horrible. It looked like something out of a science fiction movie, the yellow tube that I've shown you. Everybody I've showed my foot to went, ew. So he said, just keep it clean, and you have cat fur stuck in the skin. I go, oh my God. Fluffy's shedding. Not funny. It's not kitten cat. It's not mama cat, but Fluffy is shedding in the bedroom. And I found out last night. I said, what the hell is this? I totally forgot about it. I have a second stroller that Kathy must have given me. It's all folded up. So I'll have to go through that. And during the night, I had spikes of pain in my right foot, my left foot, the bouncing back and forth. So I will change the dressing in the morning and then go to Safeway. Call Safeway first to make sure I don't make a extra trip for nothing, because sometimes the hospital will order the medication and the pharmacies, one of my complaints with pharmacies for years, we never got the fax, the request. I watched them do it right on the computer, and yet they claim they never get it. I don't know what happens with that. Okay, it's very nippy out there right now, and the channel views are, if I can see them, no, that's not going to work, 1,442,697. I got a couple other videos. I got a number of other videos still to post. Can't talk right. So the bed is, this chair is a mess. I'm going to clean it up tonight. Nobody was doing laundry for once, so I will probably gather up some actual real live laundry and take it down and get some laundry washed. And then I will be getting my money next week. I will buy a bottle of Lysol deodorizing cleaner, more toilet paper. I have enough cat food for the cats till the end of the month, but I'll probably buy cat food. Definitely be buying cat litter and clean the kitchen floor, which is an absolute disaster because I ran out of cleaning stuff. So that's what's happening. I love this. I don't know where I got this red shirt from, but it's very soft. And Kathy hugged me. Oh, you're so soft. So I get a little upset with her because I always have to ask for a hug. She doesn't give me hugs, and I like being hugged by my girlfriend. So she went crazy for the sweet and sour chicken, and I like the broccoli, the beef part of the broccoli beef. And I think the soy sauce started to get me heartburn. I put way too much soy sauce on it. So, very nice restaurant, new owner, not MSG King like we went twice in there and our heads just about exploded. So, now I know I'm not going to die. And by the way, no diabetes. They did a blood test. Blood sugar is perfectly normal. No trace of diabetes. So the people who all said, you have diabetes, you're going to die, are full of crap. And I got to make some comments on the news. Trump negotiated peace between Hamas and Israel. They're going to release hostages and the bodies of people they killed. That's going to last 42 days. And then he's going to try to get the Abraham Accords back up. Peace in the Middle East. And he made peace. The longshore workers met with him and presumably the executives of the shipping companies and dock companies and storage companies. And they have reached an agreement. Longshoremen are worried about automation taking away their jobs. So they've reached a peaceful agreement. And there's a rumor that Trump is going to make aid to California for the wildfires contingent on Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass resigning. The whole heads of the water department should resign, the fire department should resign, all the DIN woke hires in the fire department. Frankly, the whole Los Angeles City and County Board of Supervisors should also resign because they approved the cuts in the fire budget. And Southern California Edison is being sued because residents there say that power lines cause these fires because of the 100-mile-an-hour winds, much like PG&E caused fires up north by Santa Rosa and elsewhere that killed 82 people. And now the ratepayers are paying for them to put lines underground that should have been underground for the last 100 years. And then Trump will probably tackle Zelensky and Putin in a steel cage death match and wrestle them to the ground and make them to make peace. So we're going to have a peaceful, much more peaceful world after January 20th. And Trump has supposedly over 100 executive orders already ready to go. He's going to drill Baby Bill. He's going to overturn that stupid Biden. You can't drill off the coast and inflation. I looked and the inflation will go down. I looked at the inflation numbers under Biden and they're ridiculous. Under Trump, we had at one point 0.8% inflation. So it was much better under Trump. And then Adam Schiff, that scum of scums in the Senate, wouldn't stop talking over Pam Bondi when she tried to answer his questions. And one of the first, will you make Donald Trump admit that he did not win the 2020 election? And she basically bested him. Everything he tried to say, she refuted her, said, I'm not going to do that. And basically, you can go to hell. So she endured 6 hours of questioning, or 8 hours of questioning, and the guy who was going to be defense Secretary of Defense, he endured 6 hours of questioning. And Schiff at one point fell asleep. All these Democrats, Nancy Pelosi fell asleep the other day. Oh yeah, we should also get, if Trump were smart, he'd demand the resignation of crazy Maxine Waters, who said in an interview that she's not there to protect the people. When you take an oath to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that doesn't mean you declare oath to a piece of parchment that means nothing. You're there to protect the people that ostensibly you serve. You're not there to become rich. You're not there to make millions off of insider trading and billions, maybe like Nancy Pelosi has. She now has the best track record in the history of the stock market because she gets all kinds of insider information from her having been on special committees and closed doors with American and foreign companies. And that's corruption at the highest level, and we should have, I don't know why nobody's, if you want to tell Trump to do something, congressional term limits, it's been talked about, but I wish he'd knack that right away. Kick these rhinos out, kick the Democrats out that hate Trump. And if we were smart, we'd have 6 months Congress. Shut it down for 6 months out of there. They'd be passing less mischief legislation, less things like researching why prisoners want to escape prison, getting fish drunk and giving fish cocaine and ridiculous things. And one theory is that all that money is really going to the deep state to do their deep state and evil projects and warfare. All right, let's see if anybody is in the chat. And so I'm very glad my toe is not going to fall off or whatever you call it. It really was freaking me out. It was freaking Kathy out. So now I got to figure out where the hell I'm doing here. Okay, now, there we go. And what's weird is it doesn't work in Firefox. It works only in Safari. And before the AI thing went, it was working. So I don't understand why it would work in one web browser but not the other. What's weird is it doesn't work in Firefox. It works. Okay, here we go. Anybody in chat? Yes. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't give me anything of pain. And there's Fluffy. So, no, you didn't miss it. I was giving it. And I was in pain when I got there because the toe has been throbbing and the pain's been radiating. I think that might be a sciatic nerve, but doctor said you've definitely got an infection. That was probably spreading to my body. My left foot was hurt, my right foot was hurt, the toe would throb, the big toe would throb, the foot would throb. So they gave me one antibiotic. I wish they'd give you 3 or 4 because you might not always get to the pharmacy the next day because you're so wiped from being there at midnight. Uber lady was very nice. And he said that I have to get shoes. I should get a pair of shoes 2 sizes. I hate this about doctors. You should go out and buy a new Tesla and only drive it around it with bare feet. Where am I going to get the money? I'm being sarcastic here. You need to get a shoe that's 2 sizes bigger than your current shoe and wear those temporarily because the shoe is rubbing against the toe, and that's why you have a giant weird blister. It looks like something out of a science fiction movie or Unseen Alien Files. The toe in black or something. And I'm going like, it's $100 for my shoes now, a brand new pair from Amazon. Or if I go to king size, the same shoes, a New Balance shoe with Velcro. I cannot buy shoes with laces because I've never been able to keep them tied, and then I trip and kill myself. And I've broken my left big toe, my right big toe by tripping over my shoes when I got up to put them on in the dark. And broke all the toes on the left foot when I was 14 when I fractured my toes and I broke my leg in 8 places. So, but I wear a 14.5 Triple E with a wide, high instep. And I can't afford the $100 new shoes now. Where am I going to find it? I'm not playing in the NBA. Where the hell am I going to find a 16.5 Triple E? And the price has gone up over the years. When Payless, no, I don't have athlete's foot. No, I'm being sarcastic. They always want me to do stuff that costs me money, but they never say, well, here's how you can pay for it. You need to get this pill. You need to get this equipment. You need to get this device. But yeah, I got to pay for that out of my pocket. It's not going to happen. And Patty came up with this thing. There's a flying car coming out. Meet George Jetson. $5,000. I said, that is clickbait. I don't know where you're getting that from. Just like the free house she was going to get from the government, that didn't happen. And the thousands of dollars she would get back for the IRS, they only go back 3 years. That isn't going to happen. But I said, look, it may sink in. There are videos where there's a revolutionary new TV for $199 from Elon Musk. There's a revolutionary new tablet that will wipe out Apple. There's a new phone that will wipe out Apple. There's a new $7,000 Tesla that's got the same features as the $35,000 Tesla and the $75,000 Tesla. And it's coming out in the first quarter of 2025. And I went and looked on every website I could find, financial websites. Google, Bing, Firefox, Safari. There isn't one legitimate news source. This is all clickbait videos, but people believe this BS. So, no, I'm not going to kill myself. Why would you get that I'm killing myself? But I was freaking out that they had to cut off my toe or my foot or my head. You know, infection is spread. We have to cut off your head to stop the infection. I'm being totally sarcastic and facetious. But they always want me to buy stuff that I don't have the money for, particularly in the middle of the month. No, I didn't get the 5K Tesla. That's from a video where they say it's 7K. She's talking about 5K flying car. Now, I have seen videos in these videos saying there's a new revolutionary flying car and there's only a prototype, and this company says they'll have 50,000 flying cars by the end of the year. Well, it's like the flying toasters from After Dark. Where are they? In the 90s, I had a button. I lost it. I'm only mad because now I can't find the button anymore in any of the place where I used to go get buttons, although I haven't been in those shops for years. They're probably long gone because of COVID. I had a button. It's the 90s. Where is my F-word robot, air car and robot? Because we were told in 1939 we were going to all be flying in flying cars by the 60s and have our own personal robot. So, yeah, any car can be a flying. Well, there was a car last year. I think it was last year or the year before. I did a video on it. I showed the footage in the in the mission district of San Francisco. These guys stole a car, and they went through the railing, and the street ends over a cliff, and the car went flying and landed on another car, fell about 300 feet, and just really screwed up that car. And the guys ran, and they got caught by the police. But the car flew for 300 feet straight down. And I'm going like, who the hell drives like that? So, yeah. But now, the other problem with the flying car is you have idiots on the road now. How many crashes do you have in the air, and then you'd have terrorism? How many people are going to go up, and what if they had a flying bus, with Homer Simpson driving, and somebody decided to take out 150 people in the flying bus or the flying freight truck or something like that. So that's my concern. Or flying car crashes in the building, hundreds killed and injured, details at 11, beep, 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 beep. Flying car hits Empire State Building. Flying car hits Transamerica. Oh, no, I'm using the old word. I don't know what it is now. It used to be the Transamerica Pyramid in San Francisco. Flying car hits Golden Gate Bridge. Hundreds fall into bay. You got people who don't know how to drive. They're going to know how to fly, and you got to get a pilot's license. You're going to have guys stealing flying cars just so they can go for a joyride in the Jetson-mobile. I want the combination cleaning, laundry, cooking, financial whiz so I can become rich, and sex robot all in one, and she'll drive my flying car. Where were those things? They promised us. Because you used to go back and look in the 30s, 40s, 50s, science mechanics, popular mechanics, they'd show the future. We were all on the highways were moving like moving lanes. Your car was moving in a lane. There was no traffic jams. There was no accidents. Something out of Robert Heinlein, the roads must roll. That didn't happen. Yeah, Max Zorin, right? Yeah, very good. Your James Bond knowledge. That was another stupidity movie. That was that movie was so stupid. Oh, they set fire to City Hall. Bond steals a fire truck and goes over the drawbridge with the fire truck. I've been on that drawbridge many times walking back in Candlestick Park when I was young. And I'm going like, you're going to set off an earthquake in a mine underneath something. I forget what it was. I went and saw the movie. My late friend Glenn and I, we went to the Royal Theater on Polk Street, and we watched for years. Every time James Bond opened, we'd go the first day. We were in there. We were in there some days when it opened. We were the first ones in there. Dum ba dum bum 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 bum. And a relative of mine, Lotte Lenya, played Rosa Klebb, who tried to kill James Bond in From Russia with Love. So I watched Dr. No when it came out. That shows you how old I am. And when I was 18, I had a white linen suit. It was almost like a tuxedo. Jacket and pants. I looked damn good. My mother found somewhere a deerskin suit. It makes me feel guilty, but it was very comfortable. I looked good in that linen suit. If I'd put a carnation, a pink carnation there, I could have gone to the casino when he was born, James Bond. And Johnny Carson once had Sean Connery on. He said, "I'd like to be James Bond for one day." So I think everybody, unless they don't like manly men, want to be James Bond. I just watched an analysis on my phone. How much do they pay James Bond? I figured all the saving of the world that he does, and probably what they do, like Goldfinger and Zorin and Hugo Drax, they confiscate all their wealth, and then it goes to the United States, it goes to Britain, and then they pay Bond a finder's fee for knocking off the villain, Scaramanga, and then the ultimate thing is stopping the atomic bomb in Octopussy. So they pay Bond, and then someone suggested that Bond has this cover of being a rich, wealthy, a wealthy billionaire who travels the world, and it's kind of like the old I Spy thing with Kelly Robinson and Alexander Scott. He was a tennis bum. They go all over the world to play tennis when they're really spies. But Bond has this cover that he's a rich millionaire and loves to play chemin de fer, and until they did Casino Royale, Baccarat, and then I don't remember what kind of poker they had in Casino Royale. So, and he never has to pay for anything. He even shows up naked in Hong Kong in a hotel. Nobody says a word about it. Stark naked, and they give him a shave. They bring up a fake hooker who was really a spy. And they give him the best devices, and now they give him a clicky pen and a watch. So we don't go in for exploding pens anymore, which I thought was a mistake. And then they killed him off in the last movie. And Barbara Boxer told Amazon when they bought MGM, "You don't think Bond is a hero after 60 years? Are you crazy?" She got really ticked. So anyway, yeah, the flying car. What would it be? We had a flying car in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang with Dick Van Dyke. We had a flying car I forget, it was the absent-minded professor, his son of Flubber, where he put Flubber in the car, a Model T or a Model A, Fred McMurray. We've had flying cars in the movies. And they keep bringing up these videos, and I watched one that was 90% BS. They're predictions of The Simpsons. And And another one got it wrong too. They had very odd. They had one of the Trump women as Supreme Court Justice and then President. So, no, I have, okay, I have little bumps and things that appear in my hand. The skin opens up because years ago, don't ever do this. There's one right there. I went and tried to pull down some English ivy, and that stuff is poisonous. Nobody told me, and it's an invasive species. The California Department of Forestry has said we need to cut this stuff out. What it does, it goes up trees and it kills them. Along the creek, there's a whole bunch of English ivy, and people think it's ornamental and pretty, but it will wipe out every tree you've got. Now, if they put this stuff in the hills of Los Angeles, they wouldn't have worried about forest fires. They would have had English ivy destroy all the trees. It takes a while. They'll completely cover the tree, and the trees starve to death. They can't get any sunlight. They can't grow new leaves. I've told the city about that. But what happened with that acid, I was in agonizing pain about 2 or 3 years ago. I did live video. I was screaming because the stuff got into my skin. So that's why. But the other thing, I rub my hands because I guess it's circulation. I got back today. I had to rub my hands under hot water because they were cold. It's going to be 33 tonight, so I've got the door open. It's not going to be warm. So, and it's not a white man thing, so don't say stupidity like that. It has nothing to do with my race. I also have arthritis in my hands. Years ago in the 80s, I fell off my bicycle. Actually, I didn't so much fall off the bicycle. The bike fell on me going down the street, returning library books on Thanksgiving in the middle of the night, about 3 in the morning. Suddenly, I'm on the ground, face down, and the first thought was the old Wendy's commercial. I've fallen and I can't get up. The second thing was, hope no car comes down here and runs over my ass because I can't get up. I got myself up, nothing wrong with the bike, but for some reason it went bloop and it flipped and landed on top of me. Picked the books up myself. Ow, 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 ow. That's a spike of pain in my left foot, the bottom of the left foot. So, I went to the doctor and I said, my back is killing me. So he x-rayed my back and he said, at the base of your spine, it's going to spread through your whole body. You've developed arthritis. So, and you're going to have arthritis everywhere. So some of this is also arthritis. I get pain in my wrists, pain in my hands, pain in my toes, my fingers, knuckles, feet. And at the base of my spine, there's 3 crushed discs. But the back doctor said, well, I said, you going to do surgery and remove these like my mother had? She also had 3 crushed discs from lifting a patient. She was a nurse for 50 years, and she was in agonizing pain for years. They got her on the operating table. She had do not resuscitate orders. She was tired of the pain. They brought her back, and she went through 18 years of screaming pain. Well, my disc pressed in the sciatic nerve, and that put spikes of pain that run down my legs, my feet, my toes, my hands, and my arms. I'm a mess. I need a new body. I need a new android body that's made into a robot. So, shooting threes from the corner. What are threes from the corner? Are you playing pool, or is this some new thing I haven't heard of? Oh yeah. Well, they did a CAT scan on my back because I kept having back pain. Now my theory is I got that. My mother used to load up my backpack. Instead of giving me money so I'd go buy my own food, she got free canned goods from some senior food drive, and she would load up me with as many as 60 cans in that backpack, and I'd walk down to the bus, get on the bus, get on BART, go back home. Had no car at that time, and I think all those canned goods on my back crushed my back. I think they did something to my back. So, okay, threes from the corner. Well, I only basketball. I've followed basketball twice when I lived in Sacramento and had to do stuff late at night, and there was nothing else on the radio, and I listened to the Sacramento Kings. It took me years to figure out where the key is, because I would watch basketball on TV. Where's this key on the court? I don't see any key. Did they paint it and then paint it over? And in the 60s, I actually went to see basketball at the Cow Palace with the Warriors and Rick Barry. But I know nothing. I take that back. Only other thing I know, who invented basketball and the Harlem Globetrotters. I saw them, and the Washington Generals, who will always lose. They're the foil white guy team that loses. But I'm not a basketball fan. And in Pittsburgh, PA, where it was 10 degrees last night, they had two ABA, American Basketball Association teams. Both of them failed because, except for Pitt and maybe Duquesne and maybe Carnegie Tech or Carnegie Mellon, the old name was Carnegie Tech. Old-time people like me still call it Carnegie Tech. They had, they failed. The basketball is not a big sport in Pittsburgh. Football, baseball, and hockey with the Penguins. Well, my neighbor said the free place refused to take Fluffy, so I have $60 put away to start. Next month, the end of the month, another 60, until I come up with probably $300 or $400 to take Fluffy to the vet. I don't have the money. Bart, I don't understand your sentence. 60 can't. Bart went through, whoever that was, you got on him with 60 cans for a piggyback ride home. Okay, well, there wasn't going to be no piggyback ride. They have, in San Francisco, they have these buses that are electric. They take the poles up to the wires, and they go up to the curb, but they're high up, so they don't have any ramps. They may have ramps now with all these people riding around in electric wheelchairs and scooters. So I had to lift myself into the bus with 60 cans on we're talking 60 pounds of weight on my back. And I'd get home and I'd be screaming in pain, and put ice in my back or whatever. No, because she was doing this second hand or third hand. I never got an explanation I never got told where the place was, what the name is, free clinic. Then they were closed, well, then they moved, then she couldn't get a hold of them. Then they said December. It was one story after another. I liked the lady, but it was very, very flaky. And then I go to ARP, who's changed her name. ARP was Animal Rescue Foundation, founded by Tony La Russa, the former manager of the Oakland A's. And Patty said she took all the kitties. She had cats that got pregnant. She wound up with 11 cats. She got all the kittens' homes. They did all the medical care. I haven't had time to call them up and see if they'll see me. But I was very disappointed because she promised me she would get Fluffy to the vet. And now she says, well, I can take Fluffy over to ARP. Yeah, and I'm going right, like you took Fluffy to the free vet. I'll believe it when I see it. So I'm going to have to come up with the money on my own. So that will take part of my super chat money, keep it in the bank, and then just start throwing. I've got $60 in the savings. Next month will be $120. Following month will be $180. And I pay more than the rent. I got to go to housing. Got to contact housing. You're figuring this wrong because I had $36 credit, and I dropped another $24 extra more than this month's rent, which is $316. So I should have $60 credit. They're telling me I only have $47. So they can't add. And I do that so that eventually I have paid a full month's rent, then I can take that $316 and apply it to debt or apply it to Fluffy. Okay, Mama Cat is in the doorway. I kind of wanted to close the door because if I leave the door open too long, it's freezing in here. And so, computer, weather from Martinez now.
The current weather is 49 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies. You can expect more of the same tonight with a low of 35 degrees.
35, but they said earlier it was going to be 33. It's really cold. So, yeah, well, We saw her in the restaurant last night because she has a side job. She delivers for DoorDash. And I said, hi, and she had a nice red scarf on. But I think she was surprised. We were sitting there eating because she picked up a delivery and said her name. And she's delivering Chinese food, and I've seen her deliver other stuff. She drives a white Prius. So, wow, my rent went up. They keep raising the rent every time we get a raise. So they didn't do the whole thing like they did last year. They took the whole Social Security increase, raised the rent by $52, and we only got 46. So I was short. I think it was $4 or $8. This year they only raised the rent $15. I got to keep some of the money, but I only got to keep like $9 because they only gave us a $24 raise, and no, the oldest cat in the world is 36 or 37. Fluffy's 90% fine. I'm trying to pay debt so I have some money to take Fluffy to the vet. I'm trying to pay off credit cards. I'm trying to pay off credit accounts. And then the other problem is when I fell in November, another reason not going to the vet is knee. When I fell in November, I landed on my already fractured kneecaps. Excuse me a moment. Pain alert. And as a result, I've had horrible knee pain in both knees ever since. And I landed on my ankles and I broke my nose. So I'm eagerly awaiting the knee surgery next month, and hopefully that will stop the right knee from hurting, although there's going to be pain, I'm sure, from the surgery. I wish the doctor would do both knees. I wouldn't have. Then I got to find an alternate. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Fluffy just sneezed at my blanket. But I don't have 300. Even if I took and didn't pay the extra month's rent, it would still take, I don't know what the vet would cost, because it's $59 for the vet here to say hello to the cat. They probably want to do tests. That can be $200 or $300 or $400, and then the medication is probably $100. And then they'll say, "Does he have shots?" And I'll go, "No, he doesn't," and that's another $100. So it could be $500 or $600. So, well, she's not under an obligation. Excuse me. I've been blowing my nose all day like crazy. She's not in an obligation to pay anything. She was going to do me a favor and take Fluffy to the free vet. But turns out there is no free vet because they refuse to take Fluffy. And I don't know if any of this is true, if she's BSing me or not. Yeah. No, I've got the caregiver. It's going to be Kathy and Patty. I don't have a caregiver, and it's certainly not one who lives in Fort Worth, Texas. As that troll Jedi Miller, Jedi my ass, says that she's my caregiver. I called the mass spoofer up and said, "This is ridiculous. How did she expect you to be my caregiver when you live the better part of, ow, 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 there goes my big toe, ow, 2,000 miles away?" So, the doctor said I need a caregiver, but I'd have to go to the county, and they didn't want to give me a caregiver to help me clean my apartment. They want to give me 18 hours a month. God knows what they do with surgery. And then I have to have my doctor submit it, sign the form, submit it, send it back to me, give it to them. That could take weeks or months. I will manage. I'm a survivor. When I broke my leg at 14 and 8 places and broke all the toes, and this is very graphic, had the fingernails all hanging off because the marble tabletop kept hitting my leg and the toes and the feet. And the doctor had to remove all my toenails, which that hurt like hell. Hurt more than the leg. And I walked around in crutches for a year. The only thing that got me out of PE, because I can't run with a damn even then. But my baseball and Well, career went bye-bye. So I climbed up 14 or 16 steps in our second floor flat in Union Street on crutches. No, I'm not gonna give me. They didn't give me anything with a pain. I just tough it out. I came home, ate something, had a cup of hot tea, and went to sleep. And I woke up 3 times during the night, and every time I drink tea or coffee or Snapple, I go to the bathroom. And my other big problem is it gets, with no heat in here, it gets really cold here. And first of the month, I'm going to do one thing, not fluffy. I'm buying a second electric blanket, so I got a one underneath me, one on top of me, and the bed will be warm. Because when the bed gets ice cold and I can't sleep. So I'm not worried about how I can get around. Now this foot, I've had the other problem that since I took the Pfizer vaccine for COVID, and some people said, that's only temporary. And I said, bull. I'm still having my hands, feet, fingers, and toes go numb with screaming pain. So they gave me nothing for the pain. They gave me one antibiotic pill. I don't know what. I have a paperwork here somewhere that I have to dig out. Here it is. Clunk. My PG&E bill, which is outrageous. Oh, no, that's the thing for the hospital. Let's see what it says here. Start taking doxycycline, which I have to pick up tomorrow. They gave me one doxycycline. I thought it was dogacycline first. And blister of third toe on left foot, which is funny because it's the second toe. Initial encounter. Cellulitis on left foot. I'm not sure what cellulitis is, so. Yeah, where am I going to pay for life? Are you going to pay for it? Everyone wants me to get that years ago. Get a green screen for your videos. Get a camera for your videos. Are you going to pay for it? If you're not, shut up. Don't suggest me I get things that cost me money. I own money for life. I can't afford to get shoes. I can't afford to get fluffy to the vet. Where am I going to get money for Life Alert? I see all these stupid commercials. Yeah, get Life Alert. I've fallen and I can't get up. Some old woman goes, I'm lying on the floor. Help me. If you had Life Alert, they'd show up at your door and take you away you'd never be seen again. Take you home. Okay, thank you for that. I suspected as much. The skin was rotting. The skin was dying. Then it would reform, but it wasn't forming all the way in a spot. I was surprised. I read all this stuff where the doctor's going to go in and they're going to cut your toe open and take the root of the blister out. It's just a blister. So a lot of stuff you read on the internet, what you've got is not what you've got. And I have another problem. My hair is itching all the time. I don't know why that is. That drives me nuts. So, well, I don't know what Medicare would do or not do. I just got a new Medicare card, and they were surprised I've now got Medicare A, and I don't know what the difference between A, B, C, and D is. It's like trying to figure out how many Enterprise starships there have been. I think they're up to beyond J now. Oh. Yeah, well, they're blankets that I've gotten electric blankets that have stopped working, but they get very heavy on top of me, and this one is not an electric blanket. I put this over me at night because one, it keeps me warm, and I can't get warm enough under all the covers, so I run this across my shoulders, and Fluffy likes to sleep on it. And then I have the Steelers Snuggie across the pillow because the pillow gets ice cold. And then I have the Fuzzy loved Happy Easter Snoopy blanket on the other pillow, and Fluffy likes to sleep on that. So, yeah. So, oddly, I don't have D. I don't know how you get D. Sounds like a social disease. You've got D. Oh no, not that. So cellulitis. Yeah, your iPhone gets cellulitis, and then it stops working. Your brightness goes down. Your phone calls don't work, but you get more and more spam. That's a side effect of cellulitis. I get lots of spam calls from places I've never heard of. East Nowhere, Montana, or something. So, I've never seen and have no knowledge of a pillow and blanket fort. The only forts I ever built were made out of water and snowballs. Und I was always the German, and I had Remco's bazooka. And I would be very mean. I would freeze the snowballs in the freezer overnight and Achtung! And throw the snowballs and hit the guy in the head. They got really pissed. This is during the days of combat with, God, what the hell was his name? He died in the helicopter thing in the Twilight Zone movie. Mick Morrow. Have to dig these facts out of my brain anymore because COVID screwed up my memory. But I would build these huge ice forts, and they would try to fire stuff back at me, and nothing worked because I had stronger forts than the D-Day. They get really mad. I had buckets of snowballs. Took galvanized steel buckets. I must have had 50 snowballs in each bucket. So nobody wanted to be the German. So being of German ancestry, East Prussian ancestry, Ostprussia, I was the German. I will destroy these Americans. I even got really mean. I got 2 bazookas. I was firing them. I was like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was before there was an Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was firing bazookas with both hands. So I don't know about any pillow fort. Pillow and blanket fort. Of course, being an only child, I played a lot alone, Monopoly alone, and backgammon alone, and sit in my room and didn't have my friends were all gone or whatever. So I got shuttled off to summer camp, and one year got sent to Germany for the summer. And then my mother goes, when I was 25, "You're too young to go off by yourself to Albuquerque to work for Bill Gates." And I go, "Hello, I went to Germany when I was 10 by myself, all the way across the ocean to England, spent an hour in the airport, and then went to Frankfurt. And between Frankfurt and Nuremberg, the plane dropped 7,000 feet. We thought we were all going to die and we're all throwing up, but I'm too young to go up. And I flew back by myself." So, well, I would, there was a lot of money in free parking. Let's put it that way. I had a dear friend who we would play Monopoly with, and his sister got abducted by a child molester, never seen again. Very sad. So, but I went to private schools. I had lots of friends. Public schools, it was 80% black, and I was one of the few white guys. So, but I had all black friends there because my father was in the army, and he knew a lot of non-coms, a lot of whom were black. We went to their families' houses for dinner, and vice versa. Then when I went to the private schools, all my friends were white. So, ring who up? I haven't seen him since we left Washington, D.C. in 1964, so he may be dead by now. I had another friend, I'll just say his first name was Charles, and he knew every sports figure, not players. He knew all the statistics of every baseball team throughout history. It was like a computer with it, but he had tons of old boarding sections in the apartment with his parents. I mean, up to the ceiling. And but he had memorized all this stuff. It was incredible. And he wore thick Coke bottle glasses. Was very overweight. But that was yeah. Oh, Bill Gates, yeah. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what sex you are. If you're a good person, you're a good person. If you're a bad person, you're the A word. Go away. I don't have Bill Gates' phone number. And Bill is supposedly has done evil things with the COVID vaccine and stuff. I do not approve of that. They lied to us about COVID. And they would have all us in bondage and in quarantine forever. So, but remember, Castro lied to us about being a communist too. I'm a freedom fighter and I will make Cuba great again. That's my words, but that's basically about what he told Harrison Salisbury from the New York Times in like 1958 when Salisbury went up in the mountains to meet with Castro. I will meet with Castro. Yeah, well, not once has the man sent me any peach oatmeal. Shameful, shameful. Or donated. And nobody in this chat except Spoop ever donates to the channel to help me take care of Fluffy and not little girl. I keep saying little girl. I miss my little girl. Fluffy, Mama Cat, Kitten, and Tiny One. Yeah, more likely as a shot that will make the fingers fall off. I don't trust Bill Gates anymore. He got weird when he got rich. So, anyhow. I told Patty today, I may never win the lotto, but I got to try. I take a certain amount of money every month and play the lotto when it gets really big. And Kathy does too on occasion, but I'm getting cold now. Where is Secret Mama Cat? Excuse me. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, good Lord. Burping, excuse me. She's not in the doorway. I've been trying to catch Mama Cat so I can bring her on the bed and give her cuddles and pets and love, and she keeps running away all the time. Silly kitty. So, well, I figure you could afford $7.50 once a month. I don't think that would kill anybody. I could be wrong. I've donated to other channels and sent stuff to Lucky Ferals and sent stuff to Spoof. So, yeah, well, I hate to tell you this, but laughing doesn't help when your knees are filling up with fluid and you're screaming in pain. So the laughter is not the best medicine. That's only in the Reader's Digest. That's total BS. I'm not going to sit here. No, that doesn't work. that's ridiculous. So when I fell on Bart on the escalator, when it ate my shoe and I went flying, landed on my both kneecaps and shattered the right one, and they told me years later the left one's also broken. I wasn't laughing, lying down, face down, people out, are you all right? No, I love throwing myself on the concrete platform and sniffing all the debris that's been left there by shoes and dog crap. And God, yes, it's one of my favorite. I just had to throw myself down and no, was not laughing at any time. Laughed. Yeah, I saw them doing that in the senior center one day, and I thought they were nuts. It looked like a bunch of people that had been afflicted by there's a disease where you laugh maniacally. It's like being sprayed by the Joker's laughing gas. I said, these people look like they're crazy. What the hell they do laughter therapy for? We have a lot of weird stuff in California that I would never do. I'm not gonna sit there, ha 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 ho 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 hee 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 ha 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 ho 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 ha 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 ha. No. Group laughter yoga. Yeah, right. That's gotta be another one of those woke DEI BS things. Let's all engage in laughter yoga. I went laughter watching Three Stooges and the Marx Brothers. And what the hell is laughter yoga? I mean, I can't put my legs together in a fetal position to do yoga. That would be screaming in agony. Watch an old silent film with Fatty Arbuckle or the Keystone Cops or Buster Keaton, the master of comedy. Made bad investment choices and made a mistake signing with MGM. No, that doesn't work. Besides, I amuse myself for free, by myself. Or watch something and go like, this is nuts. Or watch YouTube videos that say they do certain things and they're full of crap. So, like guys who get storage units and they find a safe and they find $500 in there, $1,000, or they get boxes of quarters and they find 18 silver quarters and boxes of half dollars. I found 78 half dollars in here. Some of them are rare quarters, rare dimes. It's all BS. There's too much bullshit out there. Excuse my language finally. But anyway, I'm going to go because I have to close the door if no secret. Oh, Secret Mama Cat is back. And she likes, for some reason, I can't figure out why, she won't sit in there with the door closed. Maybe she is the laughter yoga cat because she may snicker at me. I don't know. She likes to sit in the open doorway on the rug that's in front of the door, not the rug of the apartment, the outdoor rug, between the screen door and the front door. The minute I go to pet her or try to grab her to bring her in here to cuddle her, she runs away. But she'll sit there for hours, but in the meantime, I'm turning blue like a smurf. Oh, by the way, Kathy last night, the night before last, she got cold because she had an accident and she had to change her pants. So last night she went out in shorts because she didn't have another accident. The cold makes her go to the bathroom uncontrollably, and she's running around in shorts. She's freezing. I said, well, you turn blue. I'll wait till you turn Smurf-like. Or if I wait long enough, your whole body might turn blue and I can make big money on YouTube filming you. And I did the video last night where she was eating the Chinese food. She was shoveling it in. I said, well, I started cracking up. I said, I'm going to get you a feeding trough because you eat like a barbarian. She got mad. You're just going like Taz. More Taz, more food. Blah, 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 blah. I've never seen me eat like her. It's like, God, I love her dearly, but what the hell are you doing? Chew one thing first, then put more in your mouth. I'm guilty of it a little bit, too. The broccoli was too tough. Mama cat. Now, if I get up right now and head to the door, she runs away. All right, I'm going to go because I'm starting to get really cold, and I probably have to close the door and decide whether or not I'm going to do laundry tonight or put it off till tomorrow. Never do laundry tonight when you could put off tomorrow. But I can't move. I got too much laundry pile up there. I've got to start doing it. I just hate doing it. It wastes takes about 3 hours for 2 loads of laundry, and then I got to sit here. I'm sleepy. I got to stay awake for the laundry. I may not do it, and I may do it tomorrow after I come back. I'm starting to get sleepy again. I cannot sleep with the door open because it's too damn cold here, so Mama Cat will. If I could just train her into not being frightened of being in the apartment, she could stay in the relatively, I use the word large quotes, warm apartment. Purple underwear depends. Yeah, she's been talking about that. We would go driving and she would start coughing or sneezing, and she's had accidents in the other direction. So one time she ate some kind of egg McMuffin like crap at Burger King, and she had an accident in the car, and I had to take over because she couldn't drive. She started throwing up, and had to do that twice. And I said, stop eating that crap. Ooh, it tastes good. Yeah, that makes you throw up, or makes you have diarrhea, or makes you have explosive diarrhea. and you get out of the car and you pull your pants down and you're pooping all over the shoulder. And the one time, I wish I'd been there, we had a flat tire. Out in the middle of nowhere, I went down to Morgan Hill to get a G3. Or no, I think I had an iMac DV with all the disc and the documentation and the box. Got a flat tire about midnight, and I went off up the on ramp to find a payphone to call AAA. And in the meantime, the police or the highway patrol or AAA, I forget which, showed up the car. But while she was standing there, and she had to pee, so she goes off and pees, and through the brush, big thing of brush. I saw it later when they got me back to the car. I got lost on the way back. Couldn't find my way back. It was very interesting. This huge off ramp, and it went down to this gas station. But I got to a Walmart and managed to call AAA, but they said they've already sent someone there. We belong to AAA. So coming through the brush was gigantic boar, wild pig. And she said, I wish I'd been there because I would have put it on YouTube because I've never seen one before in real life. And it looked at her for about 5 minutes. Didn't do anything, didn't attack her. She looked at it. Boar looked back. She looked at it. The boar looked back. And she was absolutely mind-boggled. Like, wow, the thing must have weighed about 800 pounds. Wish I could have seen it. So that was one of the crazy things that happened to us. And then the next morning, what happens? We get towed to Meineke Buffler and Tire or something like that. Firestone, I forget what it was. And we bought a new tire for $111. But in the meantime, she goes to a Subway in the morning and gets, once again, she doesn't learn her lesson. She got egg McCrap on a muffin and sausage on a muffin. And within about 20 minutes, what does she have? Explosive diarrhea. I'm going, oh my God, why do you keep eating this garbage? Meanwhile, I ate nothing but a cup of coffee and gave me 3 oatmeal raisin cookies, which are safe. They've never caused me diarrhea. Cup of coffee, it wasn't that good. Nothing would have helped the coffee. It was strong enough to take the steel belt radio off your tire. And but she gets diarrhea again. And I'm going like, stop eating that. She finally stopped eating that stuff. She learned her lesson years later. We're going to Sacramento, and she got sick, and not only diarrhea, she was throwing up at the same time. Yeah, well, the problem is with California, because they've spent money on, for the last 50 years, they spent money on BS, social programs. Free university for illegals, free health care for illegals, free schooling for illegals. Los Angeles or California, I forget which one was the figure, but they spent $24 billion on the homeless in Los Angeles. Now you think about that for a minute. I saw an ad or a video. There's a new tiny house that Amazon sells for $10,000. Hold on now, let's find out something. Computer, how many homeless are in Los Angeles City?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor. According to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, in 2019, is approximately 50,000 to 60,000.
All right, 60,000 homeless in LA. Can you imagine that? Martinez, where I'm sitting, has 33,000, 35,000 people. That's double the size of this city. Okay, now, computer, divide 24 billion by 60,000.
24 billion divided by 60,000 is 400,000.
400,000 per homeless guy. You could have built houses in Pacific Palisades and had them burned down for 400 grand. You could build houses. Every homeless guy could have a house or woman in Los Angeles for $24 billion. But they're still living in tents. They're living in blankets. They're pushing shopping carts. I had a guy today. I'm at the liquor store. This guy comes, and it looked like homeless, demented, weird Santa Claus. He had this gigantic. I've never seen a plastic bag this big. It could have enveloped a city. Bag full of all his stuff, and he's carrying it on his shoulder, and he walks by me and mumbles something. And this county has spent $175,000 on the homeless, and they're still homeless. But you can go get a shed at Home Depot or through Amazon. They've already got water, they've already got plumbing in there, electricity and insulation, and you've got a window and a door, and you could turn them into a tiny home. But they're not doing that. Sacramento, when we went up there, we were shocked to see dozens of homeless encampments on the sidewalks. You couldn't walk down the sidewalk. You had to walk in the street. And there's only one rest area. There's a rest area on, I don't remember the number. I'm terrible with freeway numbers. 280 or something, south of Daly City. And someone stole a sign saying, beware rattlesnakes. There's another rest area going up to Lake Tahoe. There's one at Donner Pass. And there's a rest area somewhere between Oakland and Sacramento and Reno. And I drove all the way to Santa Barbara once and back. There was one rest area in that whole distance, and that's the better part of 400 miles. There are no rest areas here. Pennsylvania, where I lived, rest areas. New Jersey, New York, rest areas. But this state doesn't believe in rest areas. And anywhere for the truckers to pull around. Yeah, I think you're right. I think sweetheart contracts, they embezzle the money, they send it off to the CIA, they send it up to Deep State, they send it up to black projects. And in the meantime, you got 60,000 people living in the street that don't have a home. Now, some of these people are psychotic. Their brains have been destroyed by drugs or alcohol or both. They won't live in a home because they're gone. They're not here anymore. They're like Biden. They're not on this planet. There's a woman this morning, or this afternoon, I got up at about 2 o'clock. And she's standing downstairs, and I don't know if she lives here or not. We got too many nuts hanging around this building anymore. We used to have all seniors years ago who went to bed at 6 o'clock in the evening, and it was quiet and peaceful. And she's yelling the MF words. And if I had a secret power, I will delete all knowledge of the phrase MF from the minds of man and woman. These people couldn't talk because every other sentence is, you MFs are going to get it. I'm going to make sure you MFs get what you deserve. And you got to MF stop F with me. They're screaming that. Well, she's down there screaming about 5 minutes, then she disappears and it's broad daylight. I'm going like, what the hell is this? Who the hell is this? Why am I hearing this crazy woman? Take it, Pelosi. You're insulting dog crap. You should ask Pelosi, I'm your biggest fan. Please send me an autographed picture. And then you put it under and see if the dog will poop on it. The dog will start running away and tear a picture of Nancy Pelosi. Maybe you could draw a magic marker, a target on there, like a bullseye, and see if the dog will poop on the bullseye. That's funny. Oh my God. Oh. Where would you take the Pelosi? Anywhere it wants. It's rich. Oh my God, that's fun. I'm laughing. I'm crying now. Oh, good Lord. The biggest crook in Congress is Nancy Pelosi, probably. Oh, good Lord. That's why we need term limits. She fell asleep during something, too. I think the funeral. I don't remember. She was sound asleep. Absolutely brilliant, Pelosi. I'm trying to remember what movie I saw. He had Backwards. He was throwing the darts backwards. Oh, it's Binghamton. McHale's Navy. He had a dartboard of Quentin McHale. We need a dartboard of the Nancy Pelosi dartboard. Except we needed to go modern, no digital dartboard, you know. See the points light up, and if you hit the middle, it'd go ding, 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 and then money comes flying out. Oh, God. I hate Nancy Pelosi. My mother used to have her over for lunch and tea. Can't stand the woman. And she broke her hip recently, and they wheeled her into Congress in a wheelchair. And, you know, these people are 80, 90 years old. They need to go. But the people of San Francisco keep electing this. I've never seen any legislation that does any good for San Francisco. You still have all the problems in the city. Homelessness, crime, shoplifting. What has Nancy Pelosi done for years in Congress as a congresswoman? Nothing. Don't get me started. All right. I must go, and I don't know what I'm going to do about Secret Mama Cat. I just call her that. Sweet Mama, Secret Mama. Because the mystery why she runs away all the time, I go to pet her. And I don't know if I'll do laundry or not. I'm not going to do laundry. I'm going to sit here and freeze to death. They're fluffy. Have a good night. Stay warm, stay hydrated, stay safe. And watch out for rampaging Pelosi. Don't let the Pelosi go in your backyard. I'll see you later. Oh, I'm going to be laughing my ass off. And that would be fun. I wish I could laugh my ass off. I'd lose probably 20 or 30 pounds. Might be hard to walk with no ass, though. I don't know. Or go to the bathroom. I'll see you later. Bye-bye for now. Oh, God. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Thank God the toe is not something malignant or going to kill me or poison my system. I got to go to the antibiotics tomorrow. See you later.